So, the election. Well, we all know what happened. If you voted Conservative, congratulations, your party were victorious, but please don't be a twat about it. If you voted Labour, please don't direct that anger towards social media. I'd suggest turning it towards the Labour Party, because for me, Labour properly fucked up on this one. Now, I live in Stoke-on-Trent, which is seen as a safe Labour seat. When the elections come round, you put a red rosette on a pissed three-legged donkey, it'll get voted in. But now, all three seats are under control of the Tories. So what did Labour actually do wrong? Well, for me, first up, not accepting the result of the EU referendum back in 2016. Because whether you like it or not, 3.5 years ago, more people who wanted to leave the EU could be fucked to walk to the polling station than those who wanted to remain. So pushing for a second referendum or overturning it hasn't played out well. Another thing is that a lot of Labour supporters online, in the left-wing press and some Labour MPs, particularly on Question Time, have been suggesting that anyone who voted Leave must be a moronic far-right racist. But no one seemed to realise all the people they were calling moronic far-right racists all lived in safe Labour seats. So these are working class people who feel they've been ignored for years, who are then being insulted by the people who are meant to stand up for them. But more than that for me, I think Labour made a mistake keeping Jeremy Corbyn on as leader. I mean, this guy lost an election in 2017 to Theresa fucking May. I could win an election against Theresa May. You could. Any junkie sleeping rough in the park could. So when he lost that election, why did Labour HQ not say, "Thank you for your service, Mr Corbyn, now fuck off to the back benches"? Because it wasn't looking good. The writing was on the wall. I mean, earlier in the year, when it turned out the army were using pictures of Corbyn as target practice, or from my own experience, and I know that this will be unpopular because some people see Jeremy Corbyn as some messianic figure. His initials are JC, but then so are John Cleese, James Corbyn and Jeremy Clarkson. But my experience was a few months ago, my MP came to my door, a Labour MP, my former Labour MP, knocked on the door and within 2 minutes was telling me she didn't think he was fit to be Prime Minister, leader of the party, and she didn't trust him. Now what does that say? When your elected representative comes to your house to slag off her own leader. So now that Labour are looking for a new leader, I've got a few suggestions. I mean, the first thing is pick someone who isn't quite so terrorist savvy. All those photos with Corbyn with Jerry Adams, the man who most definitely isn't in charge of the IRA, hasn't helped. Neither has standing up to support British-born ISIS fighters. That shit doesn't sell well with the public. But anyway, that's the election, that's me done. But I decided I'm going to do more in my local community. So tonight I went down to my local community centre, where I met a man called Jim. And he asked me a few questions. First thing he said is, "Are you working?" I said, yeah, I'm working. And he looked confused and said, "What, full-time?" I said, "Yeah, I've got a full-time job." So then he asked, "So do you live in a council house then?" I said, "No, I've got a mortgage, privately owned." And it looked like his fucking head was going to go like that the guy at the end of Scanners. He couldn't comprehend that someone who isn't living on benefits had made their way down to the community centre. I know how that sounds, but that's how it is. Then shortly after that, a friend of mine who's quite prominent in the Conservative Party walked in and said hello. And Jim looked at me like I was a fucking Trojan horse sent in so that the Tories could invade. But here's the thing, I've got friends who vote Labour, friends who vote Conservative. And if I were to vote Labour and my mate votes Conservative, we don't have to stop being friends. I mean, only if someone's political views are burning crosses on black people's lawns or supporting ISIS, then that's a problem. Anyway, that's me done for the election. If you'd like to explain to me in detail why I'm wrong, do so in the comments and I'll probably delete it.